SBN Sports Business Now.
Hi there and welcome to Sports Business Now Live. I'm your host, Holly Koski, and SBN Live is a weekly wrap-up show where we discuss all of the most popular topics on sportsbusinessnow.com. And today we are joined by Jonathan Dusing, co-founder of Row 27 and SBN, and Sarah Pavelko, who is the Director of Marketing for UConn Athletics. And if you want to join in on the conversation, please use the hashtag SBNow. Thanks,
Sweet.
Sarah, for joining us all the way from Connecticut.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, how's it going down there?
Good.
Good?
Things are busy. We just wrapped up football season, and then basketball's in full swing. So
Sweet. And you have a game tonight, men's or women's?
we do. The women are taking on number 10 Penn State. So pretty big game for us. Should only win by about 20 or 30.
Heck
But
yeah. I like that. I like that. No,
Nice.
filling in for Jason today, who's in Vegas on
Yeah.
business, not on pleasure. But I'm sure he's
Yeah, hang out
Gambling
with
a
the
little
rodeo
bit,
folks
too.
down there. So
should be a good
yeah,
old time.
fresh off of MLB's winter meetings in Nashville. We had a big crew down there. So
Yeah,
guess
his
that went well.
Instagrams looked really fun. So
Yeah, totally.
awesome. Well, let's get started with, the top stories of the week. And starting it off, we're in the MLS with the Portland Timbers. And they're actually kind of becoming the Green Bay Packers of the MLS as far as ticket sales are concerned, because they have sold out for next season already. And the MLS Cup final was just a couple days ago, and they've sold out their season tickets, which is incredible.
That's fantastic.
So they've actually had to increase their seat allotment by 500 seats for season tickets, just because the demand was there. And they had a 96% renewal rate. Obviously, winning helps.
That's got to be unheard of, though.
Yeah, 96%.
Even a winning team. I mean, with the economy.
what was their record last year?
They made the playoffs, but they didn't, make the MLS Cup. So they were a decent team, but it's not like they were,
the best.
the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do. So it seats 15 to 50. So that helps a little bit, right?
Yep.
Because that's not exactly like the biggest.
That's just their.
This isn't exactly the Sounders.
Well, that's just their season ticket allotment.
Oh, okay.
So their stadium's much bigger, but
Oh, gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha.
they play.
So it's like a weird false cap that they've just hit.
Kind of. They play at the Seahawks arena, Geldwin Stadium.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I'm sure.
Sorry.
I'm sure that they cover the upper bowls or something like that, but they have a super passionate fan base. So I know, Sarah, maybe you can talk a little bit about how obviously winning helps, but how do you create that atmosphere? Because Portland is a huge soccer town, and their fans are known for just being rowdy and just getting super into the game. So how do you create that, that atmosphere, even if a team isn't the best in the league, for example?
Yeah.
I don't know too much about soccer. I follow ours. Our men's soccer team, actually, we just lost to go to the Final Four, but we have a huge soccer following as well. And what everybody knows is just you have to create something that nobody else can get anywhere else unless they come to the game, get that experience. So obviously you want to amp up your atmosphere as much as possible. One thing that we're really big on is giving the fans as much interaction with the team or the coaches as possible. So they can't get that unless they obviously come to the event or the game, whether that's like post-game autographs or meet and greets or chalk talks or that type of stuff. And just what are they going to miss if they don't come to the game? So just kind of some of the stuff that we focus on, I know here, and a lot of other schools or teams do as well.
With your soccer there, do you do the European thing? I mean, do you do it Euro style? Because that's kind of been really popular for some of the more successful MLS teams have gone, very European with things like calling it the pitch and having scarves and that kind of thing, like the Sounders.
Yeah, we do some of that here. We actually sold student tickets for the first time ever for soccer. It helps, but then and at the same time they're only $10, but each student got one of the scarves and kind of a few other things.
But the atmosphere or anything else. Right.
Yeah, and our soccer fans here are super passionate. They have all the flags for all the different countries of the players that we represent,
cool.
And they have a goal patrol, like a student group and everything. So it gets pretty crazy and rowdy.
Cool. Well, MLS is definitely on the rise. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
And this is cool because it's not just the team that was the best last year doing this. So it bodes really well for the league.
Yeah, and they have over 6,000 people on their waiting list for season tickets too. So another reason why they're becoming the Green Bay Packers.
What is the Green Bay Packers waiting list?
Pardon me?
What is the Green Bay Packers waiting list?
Oh God,
eternal.
It's got to be like 50,000 people at this point.
So I wonder if they're doing something with kind of scarcity, because obviously they could sell more season tickets, but they want to have more
increase
available
that
for
demand,
game day, I guess.
Right?
But yeah, the demand, maybe there's like a balance of that. Maybe
right.
6,000 might be a little too much. They might need to maybe satisfy
amp
some
it
of those
up
people.
a little bit, right?
But yeah, it's cool to have the demand. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and then speaking of the in-game experience, Anheuser-Busch is actually looking to enhance this, and they are testing it at Gillette Stadium with the New England Patriots and Sun Life Stadium for the Miami Dolphins, and they just created an app which consumers can access proprietary NFL content on their smartphones from downloading an app. And these kind of exclusive content features are like team history, trivia contests, stadium tours, photo integration, things like that.
But instead of coming from NFL or the Patriots, it's coming from
Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch. And what's unique is the content cannot be unlocked until the consumer scans, like a Bud Light image or a Budweiser image from their phone, like from stadium signage or from giveaways that are like happening at the stadium, to unlock the content.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, and the technology provider is called Blipar, which labels the system as augmented reality.
Sure.
Yeah. So, will apps like this truly enhance the in-game experience besides, doing the things that Sarah has said that UConn does, or is this just another good idea that probably won't take off?
Well, Sarah, have you guys ever done any like exclusive digital stuff for like a small group of people? Even a wallpaper or ringtone or anything?
I mean, we've done a little bit of that, and like given season ticket holders where we give them benefits for certain stuff, but nothing where if you come to the event or come to the game, it kind of gives you something like this. And I mean, I think with this, it's cool, but I don't really know if it's really going to take off.
Yeah.
It would just have to have something where you would make you want to log in every time or to do it.
Well,
are you getting something out of it, like a free Budweiser product at the game?
I think at its essence, it's a decent idea. I was just talking with the Western Bulldogs, Australian
football
AFL team, last night, and they wanted to allow people to use rewards points to purchase exclusive wallpapers and
cool.
Avatars for their Facebook pages, backgrounds, things that they will not give out any other way than through the price store where you'd spend some points for it. So I think it's interesting because obviously you can generate that stuff rather inexpensively.
Yep.
And if you adhere to the actual exclusive part of it, it could work well. And teams could do this very simply just by creating a QR code, putting on a poster, having the poster go to, maybe a exclusive interview with the team or something like that. There's a lot of cool things that you can do. You don't have to do an app and have Anheuser-Busch involved and call it augmented reality to get the same thing done. And it's just a good way to make money go a little further because obviously digital goods are cheaper to produce, and you can, but the exclusivity part is what makes it interesting. So,
yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think sorry, I just lost my train of thought there. I think what is needed is the in-game experience enhancement. I mean, especially with the NFL, the cost of ticket prices, and it's getting out of control as far as making fans actually come to the game instead of the comforts of their own couch where they have unlimited food and everything like that. So I think this will definitely be something to watch in the future in 2013 as far as just other ways of enhancing that in-game experience.
I just had an awesome idea while we were just thinking about that.
Okay,
here we go. Follow me. All right. So like with our rewards program, like we have tens of thousands of fans connected with their Facebook. So what if like at the end of the game you put like a QR code up on the video board, and if you scanned it with your mobile phone, it would change your Facebook timeline photo to something that commemorated the win of the game.
Or like a picture that you took at the game.
Yeah, because like the Vikings every week they do a new timeline. They want you to change your timeline photo to. If you could do it automatically like that, literally just taking a picture of the QR code, you could tell our system to change your profile pic for you. Boom.
I like it.
Trademark.
I was going to say, are you sure you want to spread this to the world right now?
It's all right. Catch up.
Cheers.
And then switching gear, well, speaking of the NFL a little bit, the Washington Redskins actually are the first professional sports team, really, to lead the charge on Reddit, which is a platform where it's just kind of like almost a chat room, just a bunch of message boards. I don't know.
Kinda. I spent a lot of time on Reddit, and it's basically they build themselves as the front page of the internet. So it's it's more of a everything, but there's little subsections for every topic there is. So in this case, NFL. But they do a thing called the Ask Me Anything, and that's what they're doing, right?
Yeah, like President Obama did one for the election.
Snoop Dogg did one yesterday.
Oh, snap!
It was more popular.
Snoop Lion, excuse me.
Yeah, Snoop Lion.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, is he changed his name?
Oh yeah.
What?
He changed his name?
It's Snoop Lion.
I don't know
I didn't hear that
He
yet.
actually just put out a funny kind of holiday ad, and he wishes everyone a happy holidizzle.
Nice.
So
who was that from?
Adidas.
Oh, nice.
Checked out.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg was on that yesterday, and his thing was more popular than Obama's, and he answered questions for 11 hours, and then came back the next day and answered some more.
11 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He must have been.
What people said.
Under the influence.
He was very, very high at the time.
I bet.
So the comments are just
intense.
awesome. But I'm sure Ryan Kiergan's comments were awesome too. Carry on.
Yeah, so basically they're doing it over a couple weeks. So they have 3 players that are conducting kind of just Q&As with fans over Reddit. Using the Reddit skins, which I think is pretty clever. Ryan Kerrigan was last week, as you can see from the screen here, and Alfred Morris and Lorenzo Alexander are coming up here. And the team's subreddit actually has 3,000 active users, which is
wow, that has got to be a record.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
For one specific team, that's very good.
Yeah, the subreddit. Yeah. The DC area, they're all techie and savvy over there.
Sure.
So,
I think the Giants one is probably big, but
probably too.
Yeah.
Again, fan interaction. Is this a good portal, or what are the ways?
I think it's cool, and I've seen quite a few coaches and players doing this lately, actually, or GMs. Yeah, well, I keep sending you links. I think like GMs keep doing it, right? And
the Houston Rockets GM was the last one.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool. I think my boy Cubes has done it a couple of times.
You love your boy Cuban.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a whole new channel to reach a bunch of people that you might not be reaching. Although, if somebody's a member of a Reddit sub or a subreddit for your team, they're probably a super fan, and they're probably coming to as many games as they can afford.
Right.
So it's a little bit of preaching to the choir. Probably, not going to necessarily get a bunch of new fans that way, but it's definitely something we're trying, or something we're doing. Similar to a lot of teams do, like Cover It Lives and other little live chat sessions. On Twitter, people do Q&As. This has a much better user interface for this stuff, so you can definitely see the questions and answers a lot better. And there's some funny stuff in there. Absolutely.
I'm sure there is.
Redditors are very funny.
They're
awesome.
The witty folk.
Yeah.
Of the witty variety.
Yeah, but it's definitely a channel that probably most teams are not even touching at all. So
yeah,
can't hurt to give it a shot.
Not
once or
as
twice.
Familiar with it as.
Yeah. Although it can blow up in your face, Woody Harrelson has famously the absolute worst thing that's ever happened, or AMA, and he got on there and he answered I think 3 questions, and everybody kept asking different questions or about all kinds of things, but he was like, I just want to talk about Rampart, my movie coming up, which I'm sure you all remember Rampart. that movie that no one ever watched.
Tank.
But yeah, so it's famously like the absolute worst like Reddit ever or AMA ever. So
Nice.
worth a Google.
Worth a Google.
Yeah.
Well, and then another, social media, I guess, gaffe of the week. It could be our whiff of the week, I think, which is the Orange Bowl. They have actually
Sassy.
They were sassy a couple nights ago, and they took a page from the LA Kings, almost like Twitter attitude. But
and a lot of other brands too.
And a lot of other brands, but kind of failed miserably.
Yeah.
So if you haven't heard by now, Northern Illinois is the first MAC school to make an appearance in a BCS game. Obviously, the Orange Bowl is a major BCS game. They will be playing Florida State.
Yes.
And so some fans, really took to Twitter on kind of criticizing the pick. They could have gone Oklahoma or, other schools like that.
Quite a few, yeah.
Quite a few. And so they responded to some fan tweets, one of them being, "We were hurt by your tweet until we saw your 11 followers."
I thought that was awesome.
I mean, it can be misconstrued in...
It was like, snap.
Yeah.
And then they also kind of fired back at, thousands of students at Northern Illinois are getting harassed tonight, but we get, manhandled over one little tweet. But I thought it was just like not a good, You
don't think so?
No, I didn't think it was a good move to go just because...
I thought it was interesting. It's definitely not safe, but it's provocative. I mean, all the Orange Bowl cares about is people coming to watch the game, or you're not coming, but watch the game on TV and whatnot. So for them...
I would say, all news when it relates to this could be good news in certain ways. Like, they have more followers, people are talking about it, and the interest goes up. But to me, it would be a Twitter fail, I would think, just their attitude and everything. Hashtag Twitter fail. So
you had to throw a hashtag in there. Love the hashtag.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a little style with? I know what Phil does most of the tweeting for you guys. He adds a little something in there.
Yeah. I mean, we try to make it a little bit, fun, and we interact as much as our fans. But we do, going back to the live chatting, we live chat all of our football games and basketball games. And then also do the in-game tweeting. So we have a couple different accounts. One, the actual team account, does more of the color and kind of the fun stuff behind the scenes. And then our main account does more of the media timeouts, what the score is, and that kind of stuff. So we have both access points kind of to our fans, so they can kind of see everything.
Yeah. I guess there's a fine line between having character and being in a dick.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of made me think of the Kansas City Chiefs, where they DM'd a follower, be like, maybe you should educate yourself or something like that, where the Twitter fan was like, the on-field product is terrible. Why isn't the front office doing anything about it? And they actually sent him a DM, and that just totally backfired on him. But whereas the LA Kings sent out, one of the most retweeted tweets in sports for sure, to everyone outside of Canada, you're welcome, in regards to the Kings beating the Canucks for the Western Conference Finals.
Oh, nice.
Their whole Twitter character is very sarcastic and witty, and so it fell in line with their already, their tone, their brand's tone. And I don't think this is the Orange Bowl's tone at all, especially when their next tweets were very general and normal.
Press release.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was just keep that consistency.
That's true. Well, maybe the intern got a little crazy. It was one night. Yeah.
Sarah, does any interns run your account at all, or is it all upper management?
It's mostly upper management for the main accounts, but we do have every single one of our sports teams has an account.
Okay.
So some of them, like the baseball, volleyball, they're run by either grad assistants or team managers, just whatever they kind of have to do it for them. So it depends, but the main account is run by Phil in our office.
But, the Orange Bowl, they're having to deal with something that you guys deal with, I'm sure, every day. Is, fans, especially when they feel the anonymity of the internet on Facebook and Twitter, are total assholes and say stuff all the time that's pretty pretty mean. So it's I think it's interesting to have a team fight back a little bit, but it's kind of a pointless battle because you're never going to win with the people that are going to give you a hard time online.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it wasn't really well received in the sports biz and sports PR communities, at least over Twitter that I've seen.
Yeah.
So kind of the main sentiment here was...
Well, NIU fans, though, probably appreciate it.
Pardon me?
NIU.
NIU. Yeah, exactly.
Because it was a kind of, in defense of them and
Yeah.
the MAC, so,
Exactly.
They probably really liked it.
Their Twitter account did go up 20%, though, so that's something as far as followers. So, that's something to keep in mind.
That's solid. I mean, that doesn't happen. Not in one day. That's actually maybe a good enough excuse to just take a little flack.
Yeah. So.
Well, did you guys see when before Maryland announced they were going to the Big Ten, their university's Twitter was hacked, and they sent out a couple tweets. One was new places to travel, and everybody saw that and was like, oh my God, they must mean something. But then they blamed it on that it was hacked. But you never really know.
You know.
I do. It was hacked, but.
Well, knowing what some universities and teams use for passwords on just our systems, I don't even want to know how insecure their Facebooks and Twitters are.
Yeah.
Not good.
And then, kind of along the same lines as the Orange Bowl, but this is actually a really great thing pertaining to the Orange Bowl. And one of our clients, Florida State, they are using their social rewards program to give away Orange Bowl tickets against, those feisty Northern Illinois Huskies.
Huskies, yes.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out the plural of Illinois, but it didn't work. Yes, they're actually, their Spirit Rewards programs. They can redeem their points, which they've accumulated by, sharing social content to their networks, whether that be on Facebook, Twitter, what have you.
Checking in at the games and stuff.
Checking in, exactly. Yeah. They can redeem 20,000 of their points for an Orange Bowl ticket. And they're for the lower bowl, which, tickets are anywhere from like $30 to $100, which is pretty sizable, especially for a student that, might not be able to afford to go to the game.
Yeah, they're using virtual rewards points. I saw a guy from Texas that bought tickets with points and to go to the game.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's neat. I don't think we've seen a lot of teams, use virtual points of any kind, like even just the ones you get from like being a season ticket holder for a long time and stuff, on real goods that are of this kind of value. Florida State has done a lot of like basketball tickets and other tickets from time to time, but the Orange Bowl tickets, it's really sweet.
And they've sold out, correct, John?
Yes, they did. It only lasted, it was about a day and a half.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
So, I mean, that can really turn the needle as far as, getting your fans more engaged, and because that's a pretty good incentive. And, it
was more popular than the iPad that they're doing a contest
really?
on,
That's
too.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And, just kind of going off of that, how can, teams leverage their existing inventory? Because obviously these athletic departments get tickets to the game.
Bowl games notoriously can be hard to fill up, too.
Exactly.
Even though they're in Florida.
Yep.
They have to make up for Illinois, who's not going to travel all that well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of seats in that stadium.
I actually saw a tweet that Northern Illinois had to buy more tickets than their stadium holds.
Oh, nice.
Which is
because of the way it works.
Presents a challenge to Northern Illinois.
They'll probably be selling them back to.
If we would have won this past weekend, our game, we would have gone to a bowl game, and I know that our allotment would have either been 8,000 or 10,000 tickets we would have to purchase, and one of the bowls is down in Alabama, and Pittsburgh, who went last year, they only sold 200 total tickets to that bowl.
100.
So I know that any way that people can look into how they can sell more tickets to bowl games would be great. I think this is a really
and it's much better than a giveaway since they're using virtual points. They've done something to get that. They've shown some interest in the brand, and they've gone to games and earned some points. So
yeah, and like your boy Cubes, my boy Darren Rovell tweeted this out. Crazy, Northern Illinois will have to buy more Orange Bowl tickets which is 17,500 than what they averaged per game this season, which was just over 15,000. So that'll be a good challenge for their ticket sales and marketing department.
Yeah, I bet they could do more than 200 though. It's gonna be their first BCS appearance, and although I remember that I went to the the UConn BCS appearance. You were there, right? The Fiesta Bowl.
I was. So were you.
I know we sat next to each other. So
well
awkward.
then,
but
exactly.
I don't remember attendance being all that well on the UConn side.
No, I mean, we actually,
it was Oklahoma,
for
right?
us,
UConn, Oklahoma?
going all the way to Arizona, we traveled pretty decently. Like, we were okay with it, but you still eat how many tickets and you lose all that money no matter what because you have to buy the tickets.
But you'll make it up in your TV,
a lot
right?
of the bowl games they take the tickets, give them to military personnel, local charities, that kind of thing, so you can just at least fill the stands.
But, bowl games are a lot about TV, so you make it up that way, right?
Yep.
So it's still a profitable endeavor.
Sometimes.
not more often than not
all
the case.
Well, I guess, the way it's divided up, depending on the conference, it's almost better to not go.
Oh yeah,
than to
Indiana
go.
they were one of the schools that made a profit because they didn't make it to a bowl game last year. Which it's very counterintuitive to the average fan or person. But
it doesn't really help the program in the long term, though, to not make it to bowl games.
Right, no.
You got to be good every once in a while.
The program suffers, but we were profitable just because of that we didn't go, which is just crazy and mind-boggling. But so, I mean, departments could really utilize what they have, whether that be merchandise like what Oregon has done or ticket sales or just kind of unique experiences that might be on the horizon. So something to keep in mind for the future.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, I think that wraps up this week's edition of SBN Live. Thank you, Sarah, so much for joining us. You were great.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys. It was fun.
Okay, good. You better come on in a couple weeks or something like that.
I'll be here.
Okay, good. We know you have a game to prep for, so we will let you go. But thank you, everybody, for joining in on Twitter, and check out our articles all week on sportsbusinessnow.com, and we'll see you next week.
SBN, Sports Business Now.